Confidence is more attractive than conventional beauty ideals. So this is an idea that I've been toying with making some content about lately, because we live in a culture that teaches us that objectification and sexualization of women is the norm, and also in which all of the beauty standard ideals for women that are unrealistic and unsustainable and impossible for most people are the most attractive thing. So the basic message that we get is that a woman's worth comes down to how attractive and desirable she is to others, and also that being attractive and desirable to others comes down to conforming most to conventional beauty ideals. Now, granted, those beauty ideals shift, they are in trends, so they come and go, and they're constantly sort of a moving target. But the idea is that you would, in order to be the most attractive version of you, you would need to conform as closely as possible to conventional beauty ideals for women. And those are the sort of perfect looking women we see in celebrity culture, influencer culture, models, media, TV ads, etc. So let's just pause there for a second. And let's not forget that bodies go in and out of style like fashion trends, right? So conventional beauty ideals are completely subjective. They're constantly evolving. They're constantly changing. Butt size, boob size, lip size, hairstyle, weight, and more, they all go in and out of style with the phase of life and time period and politics and all the things that are going on. The height of beauty used to be being a very fat, pale woman. And now it's like Kylie Jenner. So clearly shit has changed, which means there is no biologically wired, objective, ideal beauty standard. It doesn't exist. All of this is completely subjective. It's always moving. It's always evolving. And conventional beauty ideals they're not ingrained. They're made up, and they're influenced by the culture that we're in. Also, let's bear in mind the fact that our brains literally scramble the pictures that we see based on how we feel and what kind of chemical or hormonal cocktail is going on inside us at any given moment. So this means that you will find someone less attractive if you think very poorly of them, especially if you're feeling threatened, anxious, afraid, hatred, betrayal, any of those things. Really negative stuff inside you will cause you to see something much uglier, much less attractive. Literally, your brain will scramble the picture it sees. And likewise, when you're feeling very warm, trusting, connected, good, you're going to feel like you're going to see something more attractive. Your brain will literally scramble their face into a more symmetrical design so that you think of them as much more attractive. This is why everybody thinks that their pets and their kids are the cutest on earth, and their best friends are the most beautiful on earth, and their partners are the sexiest on earth. And then we look around at everybody else's and we're like, yours are okay, but like mine though. It's because we have such positive associations and chemical bonds with the people in our lives who we find beautiful. And likewise, it can be why your partner might be totally sexy to you one moment, and then when they do something you hate or they betray you, they might look disgusting to you. It's because your brain is literally constantly scrambling the picture that you get of how people look, which means that attractiveness is constantly changing based on how you feel about someone, yourself included. Which is why when you look at the mirror and you're really hating yourself that day, you're feeling really bad about yourself, you're going to see an uglier picture than on a day that you're feeling really good and confident about who you are as a person. So the brain is always scrambling it, which means that attractiveness is not an objective thing. It doesn't exist. It's always moving. This is why I am here to make the argument that the most important ingredient at play when we talk about attractiveness is confidence. It's not conventional beauty norms. And people who have that magnetic and attractive sort of sex appeal, they share certain qualities. And those qualities are things like being self-assured, being very warm, being very connective, being very curious, having a really authentic energy, being very expressive. These are things that we find attractive about people. And people who have all of those qualities, they know who they are. They show up fully. They feel really embodied and present with you. They have stories that make them interesting, right? They're really interesting people. They don't shy away from the pursuit of pleasure. They're not burdened by shame and anxiety and like sort of shrinking and hiding and protecting themselves. They like themselves. And all of those things I am going to put together into the term confidence, not because that's exactly the right term, but because just I don't have a better term and for shorthand here. that juicy, warm energy that I'm going to call confidence from here on is what makes people feel good to you. And therefore, it increases how attractive they appear to you. So people who have this juicy, warm energy, this confidence, will appear more attractive. And exactly the opposite happens too. People who are shrinking, hiding, super anxious, have a lot of shame stories in the way. These people will come off to others as less attractive because they will make it feel a particular way to be around them, whether that way is neutral or negative. They will come off as less attractive no matter how they look. So this is the energy. This confident energy is what makes people feel good to you, and therefore it makes them attractive to you. So often the more you focus on improving your appearance within the paradigm of conventional beauty norms, meaning maybe you like diet and exercise to try to get as lean as possible, you do your hair a certain way every day, you get your lashes and your nails done, you wear makeup to cover your flaws and enhance and contour and do all this stuff, you present yourself with your clothing in a certain way, you do all this work in order to meet conventional beauty ideals. Maybe you get lip fillers or cheek fillers or something to look younger. You get anti-aging stuff. You do all this stuff to fit the conventional beauty norms, and you still might not come off as attractive to people for any number of reasons. Whereas somebody might come off as way more attractive because of who they are and how they hold themselves. This juicy, warm, confident energy can make them come off as attractive even if they don't fit any of those norms. Also, the pursuit of those norms, the pursuit of all those things I just said in terms of like trying to fit conventional beauty, it often means that you are more self-conscious, more anxious, more shut down, less self-accepting, more closed off, less engaging, less warm, less present, all those things. It actually makes you less attractive to people. And likewise, you don't get to spend all of the time and energy and money that you spend on trying to look a certain way and meet these conventional beauty norms. You don't spend that time and money and energy gathering hobbies, learning interesting things, having experiences that are really, really exciting to you, cultivating curiosity about other people, improving social skills, exploring and learning what you like sexually, doing the personal and trauma healing work that's required to have a juicy, warm energy, and more, right? So we have finite time on earth. You have to channel it somewhere. If you're channeling it to looking more attractive by trying to conform to beauty ideals, then you didn't spend it, or you don't get to spend it, charging yourself and your life with this juicy, warm energy. Of course, anybody can do both, but if you just see the trade-off that's happening, if your goal is to be more attractive, then pursuing conventional beauty norms is often not going to be the best bang for your buck to get there. And trying to look more attractive for a lot of people is actually going to make you look less attractive to other people because of how humans work. Not because of how the capitalist and beauty culture and diet culture will have you think that people work, but because of how people actually work, how our brains actually work. So if your goal is trying to be more attractive to find a partner or have more sex or fall in love or form better connections or even just increase your social status, you would actually be better off spending your time and money and energy building an internal sense of confidence, that warm, juicy energy, doing all the things, learning the skills, doing the healing required to have your social skills, your personal growth and healing, your sexuality, your authenticity, having all those things really elevated and where you want them so that your life feels like a fuck yes to you, because that is what comes off as more attractive to people. So I'm not here to say that conventional beauty norms mean nothing, because that would not be true, of course. I'm not here to ignore the fact that we like visually beautiful things. We're wired to like visually beautiful things. I take no issue with that. But if we're talking about what is attractive to other people, it is not just what is conventionally beautiful. And in fact, that is a misunderstanding of how we work. It is the wrong place to send your time and money and energy if you're trying to be more attractive. And also it just sucks. So just a little reframe for you, flipping this kind of idea on its head, that in order to be more attractive to other people, you have to do all of this beauty culture stuff and change your body and change your face in order to look more attractive. We can approach this differently. This is where real attraction comes from. That's it.